Okay. So, good afternoon, one and all. In last class, we discussed Hall effect sensor, which is also used as a shaft encoder, and it is basically incremental encoder. And before that, we have already studied inductive proximity sensor, capacitive proximity sensor, and of course the encoder which we already discussed, that is incremental encoder, absolute encoder based on optical and laser, and then Hall effect sensor. Now, as far as these proximity sensors are concerned, we have already completed two other types, capacitive and inductive. So, and this is the third type, that is the optical proximity sensor, or it is also called photoelectric proximity sensors. So we will discuss that what is the first of all need of such proximity sensors. So we have seen that in case of inductive proximity sensor, object or the target, it must be metallic, and in case of capacitor it should be conducting, weak conducting, the like liquid, that is water and all. But it doesn't cover the complete category of the materials. So sometimes we come across the non-conducting, non-metallic type of material. So there we find the difficulty in using this inductive sensor or the capacitive proximity sensor. Like for paper, if we take paper or some non-metallic part like rubber sheet, acrylic sheet, something like that, in such cases it is very, very difficult. And that is why this new topic, that is optical proximity sensor, is to be discussed, and we have to understand that how this optical proximity sensor can be used for such applications. Now it has additional advantage that this optical proximity sensor can be used for metallic and non-metallic both, because it is based on the light interruption, and that light interruption may be because of the metallic part, non-metallic part, doesn't matter. So in case of this optical sensor, proximity sensor, we have these basic components used, that is the source, light source, and typically we use LED, infrared LED or laser diode. These are the probable solutions, probable options for the light emitter, or you can say light source. At the other end, we have to mount photodiode or phototransistor. So this is nothing but the receiver part, and this is the transmitter part. So this is transmitter, TX I am writing, and this is the receiver part, that is RX. So in addition to these two, transmitter and receiver, we need some conditioning circuitry also, some electronics is required, because the output produced by photodiode or phototransistor is comparatively less. So we cannot use directly, because PLC can understand a certain level of the voltages that already we have seen many times, that for PLC the standard is 24 volt DC. So unless and until enough voltage is not appearing at the input of PLC, it will not recognize. And that is why we have to boost up that voltage level using this supporting electronics, so that the signal, that is detector signal or receiver signal, can be bring it to the considerable voltage level, and it can be easily readable by the PLC. So this arrangement you will find in all types of optical proximity sensor. Now there are three types. One is through beam, retroreflective, and diffuse type, and it is mainly based on the arrangement of the transmitter and receiver section. You can see this picture, it is taken from this source. I acknowledge this source, and from this picture it is clear that you can understand that what type of arrangement you find in case of these three proximity sensors. Now this is the first one, that is nothing but the through beam. Through beam proximity sensor. So in this case, we are having the arrangement like this. In every proximity sensor, you will have always one receiver and one emitter, or you can say transmitter also, doesn't matter. So here we are having separate transmitter, separate emitter, light emitter, and separate receiver section. This emitter section, this emitter will emit the light beam that may be in the visible range for LED, that may be in infrared range, which is generally not visible to the human being, or it may be laser also. Whenever there is a target, some obstacle is there in between, there will be interruption of the light. So light will just get reflected back. So light will fall on this object, this target, and then reflected back here and here. So no light will reach to the receiver. That is considered as a 0. And this 0, you can treat that as a presence of the some object. So this 0, you can invert later on to the 1 also. It is depending upon the designer. You can program accordingly. No issue for the PLC. You can program it for 0 means present and 1 means absent, or vice versa. That's not an issue. You can just invert the logic. There is no issue. But in one case, you will get 0, and in another case, you will get 1. And from that 0 and 1, you can identify whether the object is present or it is absent. And here we are talking about the digital output only, because we are not using these proximity sensors for any kind of measurement. So we are not interested in measurement of the distance between these or so on. We want to know only the presence and absence, that's all. So it will give the digital output in terms of pulses. So whenever there is interruption, you will have 0. No interruption, you will have 1 continuously, or vice versa. So this is the arrangement in through beam. Now here the drawback is we are having the separate emitter and separate through beam, and the proper alignment is very, very essential. Then coming to the next part, that is called retroreflective. So in this case, transmitter and receiver is clubbed together. It is mounted in a single case, and you can mount either side. Our side, you have to put a glass, that's all, reflecting glass. You have to put it here. You can say mirror. If you put mirror here, this mirror will reflect this light beam continuously, and it will fall on the receiver part. So whenever there is an interruption, again the same story is repeated. So this is what the arrangement you find in retroreflective. Third category is the diffuse type. So in diffuse type, again the same story, that is transmitter receiver is clubbed, but in this case there is no reflector place or no receiver place. So this is another modified version of the proximity sensor. So whenever you put some object here, then this light beam is reflected back. Of course it will scatter, but some amount of light will always fall on the receiver part. So this blue color indicates the receiver, and this is nothing but the transmitter. This orange color indicates transmitter, blue color indicates receiver. This is also transmitter, and this is receiver. Here also same thing, this is transmitter, this is receiver. So this is what the basic arrangement you find in all these proximity sensor. And now we will try to understand each proximity sensor in detail. Now, can anybody tell me that which sensor will be having the highest range, sensing range? Which sensor will be having the highest range of detection? Yes. Any one of you please unmute. Yes.
Through beam.
Through beam. Why? What is the reason? Yes, what is the reason? Yes, this is absolutely correct answer. You can see here, just I'll remove all these being. Light beam has to cover how much distance? Only this much distance. This is X. Whereas in case of this retroreflective, light beam will travel from transmitter to receiver and again receiver to, that is reflector to receiver. So that means the light is traveling 2x distance. Here the light is traveling x distance, here is the light is traveling 2x distance. That means sensing range is half in this case. In this case, you will get the full range, full sensing range. And in this case, there is no reflector, so of course, light will travel and reflect it back. So some of the light may get reflected back to the receiver. There would be more scattering of the light because there is no mirror place, there is no reflecting mirror place, so it will go in all direction. But small amount of light will reflect back, subjected to condition that this object must be in the sensing range of diffuse type sensor. So if you compare all three, you will have the least sensing range in case of diffuse and maximum sensing range in case of through beam. So now this is the arrangement of through beam optical sensor. Just I'll quickly change the slides and their animation is produced. So through this animation, you can easily understand. You can see here, this is the transmitter, means transmitting LED, light will just travel and fall on the receiver part. This is receiver, that is detector, light detector. Backside we are having two LEDs for indication. Here we are having one indication, and this is the output of the transmitter, this is the output of the receiver. So you can see here now, there is a light falling continuously on the receiver section. So this green LED is now glowing. You can see here, it is glowing. This green LED is glowing. This green LED is glowing because light has started emitting. That is the indication. That means your transmitter is on. So that is indicated by green. Light is falling on the receiver. That is indicating green. Whenever there is an interruption in the light, that will be indicated by this top LED. So you can see here now target is in picture. Now the target is moving. Okay, so this light, you can see the object has interrupted, but it is not completely interrupted in this case because it will slowly go through the lobe. There is a lobe produced here in between transmitter and receiver. So now this lobe is not interrupted. So you will have some case where there is a complete interruption. You can see now this LED is glowing. That is shown by the yellow color. That indicates that there is a light interruption. Even previous case also, very minute amount of light was falling, and that was also not aligned with the receiver, and that is why at that instant only this LED was showing the status. And same thing is for this status also, and you can see here again the same thing. And now if it is completely passed and there is no interruption in the light, again this LED is turning off. So it is in off condition now. Now still this green LED is glowing. So this is what the arrangement you find in through beam optical sensor. Now what is a typical sensing distance for such sensors? It is around 30 meters. High-end and very costly industry-grade sensors, if you use it, it may cover the distance up to 30 meters. This is a huge value of the distance. Then it will detect all types of material except very transparent material, because if the transparent material is placed, then light will pass through it and there would not be any interruption. And that is why this sensor, all optical sensor, cannot detect material which are very transparent. There should be some interference in the light beam, then only it is detected. And the drawback of this sensor is it must be accurately aligned. If this alignment is disturbed, then light will not probably fall on the receiver. It may go this way or it may go this way also. Okay, this alignment is very, very important parameter. Second is retroreflective optical proximity sensor. You can see this symbol, already we discussed this. This is the symbol of proximity sensor, and here you can say the LED symbol is used. That indicates it's a optical proximity sensor. Now in retroreflective, what is happening? You can see here there is one transmitter side and this is the receiver side. It is clubbed together. Okay, and other side you are having the prismatic reflector. That is nothing but the mirror kind of arrangement, and there is especially this angle is maintained so that light can be properly reflected back and fall on the receiver part. Whenever light will fall here, it will be reflected back. so that it will not scatter. So this prismatic reflector glass, you have to put it other side, and our side you have to put this combined transmitter receiver. Then we will see here again the same thing. You can see if there is no interruption, light is traveled this way and it will reflect it back. So this angle is very important, and from this it is clear that what is the importance of this angle which is maintained. It is not plane mirror, it is called prismatic mirror because it has to reflect light properly, and that is why it is falling on the receiver part. So what will happen here? You can see if there is a target, and once this target start interrupting the light, now you can see here. Now this LED is showing the white, means no light is there. The moment it has reflected the maximum light, then it has shown by the yellow color, so that indicates that there is a object present in between these two, transmitter and receiver. Receiver means here only prismatic glass. So like that. So here, if you summarize this, you will have the sensing distance is half to 1/3 of through beam type, because this half is a very ideal value as per the calculation, because it has to travel the double distance. So sensing distance would be half, but due to the dispersion of the light and it has to travel double distance, so you will have a lot of losses there. Some scattering of the light takes place, and because of that it will be lying in the range of half to 1/3 of through beam type. Again, the same thing, that not suitable for reflective or the transparent targets, because there would not be any light interference, and then in such cases this optical sensor could fail to detect that particular object. Now up to this, please let me know if you have any question. Please ask me, otherwise we will proceed to the next type of proximity sensor. Am I properly audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see this is the application of optical sensor, and this is especially a retroreflective. This is some sort of, you can say, the conveyor belt type of arrangement, and then there is a paper roll or some roll, so whatever is the material in general, and this roll is continuously moving on the conveyor, and you will have this interruption continuously. Sometimes both are interrupted, sometimes single is refracted, and like that. So there are such applications like cloth and all, textile mills. So you can use these kind of sensors for detection of the objects which are non-conducting. This is the last type of optical sensor, that is called diffuse type. In this case, we are having this transmitter and receiver both in the same package, but there is no prismatic glass placed here, or there is no receiver part, nothing is there. So in this case, we will see now the animation. You can see there is a light lobe is formed, and that light is traveling in all the direction. There is no interruption, so because of that, no light is falling on the receiver part. Now this target is there. So you can see here, if target is just entering, so light will reflect in wrong direction. So now for this case, you can see whenever your object is exactly at the center of the lobe, then only the light is reflecting back to the receiver section. But of course, it is not possible to reflect all the rays back to the receiver, because light scattering takes place and light will be reflected in all directions. But definitely some light will fall on the receiver, and because of that, it is detected that some object is present. So like that. So here in the diffuse type, you can say the sensing distance is much less than the reflex type, and the actual distance depends on the color, the reflective nature of the particular surface. Larger targets result in longer sensing distance, because this target size is very, very important. If you are having very long target, then definitely your sensing distance will be more. and if your target is very small, then it should be very close, then only it is possible to detect it. And sometimes if you have very small objects, then probably it may not be detected. So this size of the target is very important. So if the target is bigger, you will have more sensing range. If it is middle one or if it is smaller one, then lower one, and if it's too small, then it is not possible to detect the presence of the object. This is very important point which we have not seen in other two cases. What is this important thing? Is not suitable for the dirty environment, because in between this target and this transmitter receiver, if there is a dusty environment, what will happen? Light will scatter further and it will go in randomly in all the direction, and probably light could not reach to the receiver part because you will be having the scattering and the losses of the light. So that is why in case of especially diffuse type, here this environment should be clean, it should not be dirty environment. There should not be fog, there should not be continuous some dust particle and something like that. Okay, otherwise it will not work. So this is about the diffuse type. Now can you please tell me any one application where this diffuse type of optical proximity sensor is used? Any application which is typically used in our home or hotels or shopping malls, everywhere you will find this arrangement. So anybody please, where exactly these optical diffuse type sensors are used? Am I audible to you? Yes.
One
Where?
reverse parking.
No, reverse parking is totally different. That we will also study. That is called reverse parking sensor, RPS. Na?
Yeah.
It is based on actually ultrasonic waves, not on optical. Any other application? Have you seen that in wash basin you have this kind of arrangement? Just put your hand just below that tap. Have you seen this arrangement? If you go to any shopping mall, you will have this arrangement. That is some sort of, we can say, the IR sensor module.
Yes, sir.
So IR sensor module is nothing but the diffuse type only, because in IR sensor we do not put any reflective glass or we do not put any receiver part separately, nothing. We just hold the hands and hand will reflect the light. So this is nothing but the diffuse type. So IR sensor module you can treat as a diffuse type optical sensors, which are having very less sensing distance. Even always it will be in mm, not even in centimeter. Okay, very less, or maybe few centimeter depending upon the quality and the cost and the type of that, means quality, of course, the quality of that particular sensor. So you can see here this animation. If you see, can you please tell me what kind of optical proximity sensor is this? There are two cases you can see, the lower one and the top one. In this case, please let me know here, the first case, this case and this case. There are two cases. This is again the magnified way you can see here. So what type of proximity sensor is this? One, that is case A, and this is case B. Yes.
David through and we would be reflective type.
Yes, this is absolutely correct. A is nothing but the through beam, because we have separate transmitter and receiver. You can see why we can say this as a through beam, because you can see this module and this module. It is not looking like a glass only. Okay, so of course it is a receiver part or maybe transmitter, and this is the transmitter or receiver part. So it is looking like same, both the modules are same. If you are using two similar kind of modules, so one acts as a transmitter, another as a receiver, same module means loop wise same, not the operation wise or sensor wise. So this you can consider as a through beam. So A case is through beam, and B case you can see this is clearly shown here that some glass, prismatic glass is placed here, and that is why this you can consider as a retro reflect cube. Okay, and then basin tab, that already we have taken the example, that you can treat, or the IR sensor, that you can treat as a diffuse type. Okay, so these are the applications of the optical proximity sensor, and we have wide applications for such optical sensor in industry. This you can see the bottling plant where these retro reflective type of sensors are used, and we can use it, these sensors, for the all types of material except the very transparent material. That is the only exceptional case. So if you want to compare all these four, okay, the next topic we will discuss in the next class. This is the last slide. So if you see and if you compare, this table is very important to understand that where to use the particular sensor or how to choose particular sensor. This ultrasonic proximity sensor, I think already you have studied, so this you can treat for your self-study. And please note down in your copy that ultrasonic sensor, ultrasonic proximity sensor, you have to study on your own. It will emit around 35 to 36 kilohertz frequency, audio frequency, which is in ultrasonic range. You will have one transmitter section and one receiver section. Then that sound beam will travel through this air, and because of some object, it will reflect it back and fall on the receiver. The moment you emit the sound wave, you have to trigger your counting, your timer, and after receiving the light, you have to stop that timer. So if you trigger at the beginning and at the end, whatever is the time interval, in terms of that, you can easily calculate that how much is the distance or whether the object is present or absent. That you can easily detect out of this ultrasonic proximity sensor. So construction wise, the internal blocks, that you please try to understand. So I have given it for your self-study. Like cell phone also, we have this kind of ultrasonic sensor. Okay, so we will start with this inductive proximity sensor. Already we have discussed, which are having the sensing range that is lesser than 4 to 40 mm, and application is very close range detection of ferrous material particular. This is suitable only for ferrous material, and the target materials are iron, steel, aluminum, copper, etc. Capacitive is having the almost the same range, is less than 3 to 60 mm. Again the same thing, but here non-ferrous material also can be detected, like liquid, wood, granulate, plastic, glass, like that. Such applications where we can use the capacitive proximity sensor. And third type is nothing but the photoelectric. Here in photoelectric, it is mentioned as 1 mm to 60 mm, but already we have seen in meters also. That is actually not mentioned here because this table I have taken from some source. So as far as these three, inductive, capacitive and photoelectric, we discuss, this photoelectric will be having the highest sensing range, that is in meters, and that is through beam type. If you use it, you will get in meters. Here it is a long range, small or large target detection that is possible with the help of this photoelectric. Materials are silicon, plastic, paper, metal, all excluding glass. Glass is not preferred here. And of course, for the ultrasonic case, cell phone, foam, glass, liquid, powder, etc., that can be used here. So you can see here in all these 1, 2, 3, these three important proximity sensors we have seen. In all these, the glass you will find is used only in case of this capacitor and in case of this ultrasonic. In other cases, the glass, if it is there, it is not possible to detect it. So glass is applicable only for capacitive and for the ultrasonic proximity sensor. So this criteria is very important. One is distance and then target material. So you have to first of all decide that which material you want to detect and how much is the sensing range. Depending upon that sensing range and the material, you can decide the particular proximity sensor. So for the highest distance, if you want to cover, photoelectric is the only solution. But for the middle range or the low range, like as mentioned here, 40 mm, 50 mm, 60 mm, for that you are having the multiple options of inductive, capacitive, photoelectric, and even ultrasonic also. So you can use any sensor for detection of the particular object. So this is all about the proximity sensor. So today we have covered optical proximity sensors, and there are three categories: through beam, retroreflective, and diffuse type. And in addition to that, ultrasonic is also one of the proximity sensor available. So this is all from my side. If you have any question, you can ask me.